Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be going over a tier list of what characters we think are going to be best in Overwatch 2. But today in the tier list video, I'm actually not alone. If you guys are new to the channel, you might not know Poketude, but if you've been here for a while, you definitely know Poketude. He's the GOAT. But Poke, if you want to introduce yourself, be more than willing to.
Hey, yeah, my name is Poke. I am currently a coach in Overwatch Contenders. Which is the highest level of competition outside of Overwatch League, and I currently work with Altiora.
And again, for you guys that have not been here, maybe you've actually seen my BAP guide or haven't seen the comment video or some other ones on the side. Poketude has... I'm probably saying that wrong. I always say Poketude, but it's Poketude, isn't it?
Yeah.
Poketude, Poke. Just yeah. You guys understand. This guy has taught me pretty much everything that I know about Overwatch so far, so definitely check him out after this video. All of his links will be in the description. Go check him out. But I do want to make sure that we're not going too overboard with time here, so let's get right into it. Some criteria, though. This is characters that we think did well last Overwatch 2 patch in the actual beta, but also I think fundamentally with hero design and kind of like what their potential is something that we're definitely going to probably talk about for some of these characters and kind of where they might go in the future. So let's start off with Soldier here. I think Soldier did very well in the Overwatch 2 beta. I think his flanking playstyle definitely factors into his success in a 5v5 environment, but I also feel like he was overtuned a little bit. And I know we were talking about this before, that he's definitely going to see some nerfs, but do you think those nerfs are going to make him like a C tier? Or are we thinking more like B or A tier still?
I think while he was really strong in the beta, I would expect him to get pretty gutted, but I think overall his general value of that consistent damage playstyle is a lot more valuable in Overwatch 2 than Overwatch 1. So I have a feeling that like even if he does get gutted a fair bit, you might still be able to use him more consistently than what people looked at in Overwatch 1. I would probably say maybe a high B tier or a low A.
I'm gonna give it the low A tier because from a fundamental design, I think Soldier will always be good unless his numbers are just like completely destroyed.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Totally agree.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
And I don't think that needs that much more discussion. Orisa, on the other hand, I don't know how to feel about her. Here's the thing. I like how fun she is, but that doesn't mean she's good. And I haven't seen her in a very like high level. I mean, I've seen her a little bit in a high level environment. I think Zarya is almost better as a brawl tank right now, from what I've seen. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong here. Does Orisa fundamentally make sense? Like, I feel like she could be good with a few tweaks, but I don't think she's crazy.
Here's the thing, Orisa, in and of itself, like she's not that bad. I think she gets a lot of nice value. She has really good uptime in terms of survivability, but I think the point in where she struggles is that it's very hard for her to manage both angles and also high ground. And I think
I can see that.
Considering a lot of the maps, like she really needs people to be in front of her at all times in order to get that like high value uptime.
Yeah, I can see
essentially. That. And so I think she might get played eventually on some maps. I think even right now she's a little weak. I think pretty much any tank in the game, I would really just say any tank in the game is probably more viable. So I would probably put her D tier, but...
Okay, I would say, honestly from what you said, I would put her low C tier because I think she has potential. But because we're talking about this of characters you should play to get prepared for Overwatch 2 beta, she might literally be the worst prospect. She's not super great right now in the Overwatch 2 beta, and also her entire kit was completely changed. This is probably what I should have opened with. Her entire kit is completely changed, that there's probably no reason to even try to play her right now in Overwatch 1. Like, what is the same? Literally, like, you're like M1. I'm pretty sure that's like one of the... Oh, and Fortify. I don't know. The playstyle I feel is completely different. But I think it was good that we had that discussion. I think that I think she has potential if they change a little bit of the things about her kit. I mean, I like her design. We'll just have to see where they go with it.
Yeah.
Zarya is an interesting one. I kind of saw why she would be strong as a brawl tank in Overwatch 1 or Overwatch 2. I'm just curious for this point alone. Do you think that this was because like she was overtuned, or is it just that she kind of just works in that Overwatch 2 landscape?
I don't think
or a mix of both.
I don't think she's overtuned. I think she's very good for like a team, like a very team-centric style of play that like you might. I'm not sure how good she'll be in like that ranked environment, but I think like you'll see all across like APAC and Overwatch League, they're running Zarya pretty much wherever they can, and I think in some ways it's pretty good, but I definitely think there's a little bit of flaws that haven't been fully discovered yet. But I think her playstyle plays pretty similarly to Overwatch 1, but I definitely think there are some pretty key differences, specifically because she can just only bubble her DPS or supports.
If she wants to, yeah. That's pretty good.
So I think it's good to understand, like, if you are trying to learn her for Overwatch 2, like, how to do that bubble timing. But I don't think she would be much higher than, like, maybe a high B.
I honestly... a high B?
Yeah.
I was thinking
might be a hot take.
A or mid A. I was thinking.
Well, it's a question of whether or not you want this tier list to be on viability, like
in ranked or in team play.
In team play, or also like how well you think you could practice going into.
That is true.
Because I think
low A tier does justice then. I think above Soldier, but still low A tier.
That's fair.
I still think she's gonna be good, but I think I can see where other tanks would be better.
Yeah.
To be honest.
No, I agree.
Torb is literally carbon copy. The thing is, in a way, I could see his viability in Overwatch 2. Low key, the turret could be kind of pog. At the same time, though, you don't have an off tank, so the turret's viability within line of sight kind of doesn't have as much time to pop off because the supports aren't going to be living as long if the D.Va isn't up their butt. But I still think I don't know. I think I have this thing where I think Torbjorn is just a goated character that just no one plays. I want to put Torb in like low C tier.
Yeah, no, I think that's totally reasonable.
I feel like that's pretty based.
I honestly I would expect some sort of change to come to him at some point.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he'll become a little bit stronger even. But I don't know. I like Torb, but I'll put him low C tier because at the end of the day, I think that's kind of where it belongs. But moving Sigma B tier, or are we thinking something a little higher here? I think Sigma is a good idea, but I haven't seen how he could be really more useful over some of these other tanks. At least currently.
He's good on Circuit Royale.
That's about it. And that's like all I was thinking.
Yeah.
In terms of like poke stuff.
I think in terms of playstyle, it's very similar to Overwatch 1. I think he honestly might be the most similar of all the tanks.
Probably, yeah. Other than maybe Reinhardt, but Reinhardt not even because Reinhardt, never mind, not at all. Reinhardt doesn't have an off tank. Never mind.
The Reinhardt playstyle is something interesting. We could get into.
We'll get into that
a long
when we
discussion,
get there.
but I think maybe Winston would be the only contender, or maybe Zarya, but I think he has some value in some very niche spots, but he really needs like snipers in that long range playstyle. And I think a lot of maps don't give him the ability to operate in that way.
Perfectly mid. Perfectly mid on this tier list. I think it's a good tank to kind of pick up. And not even necessarily pick up, but just like practice at every now and then.
Yeah.
Reaper. Okay, I've been seeing a lot of Reaper on Koth with just brawl comps. I can't tell if this is going to be good moving on. Here's the thing. There's not as many maps in Overwatch 2, and I feel like a lot of the maps in Overwatch 2 currently kind of lend themselves to a more brawly style. I might be wrong. I don't know. I think his value is going to get diminished compared to what we're seeing in Overwatch League now.
I think it might go down a bit, but I think you also have to consider...
Still B to A to S.
You kind of have to consider, I think, a bit of the like value that he brings, because you have to think about it, right? He has the, I think, is it the highest health pool of any DPS in the game?
Yes. Yeah. Unless you count Torb with Overload, I think. But that doesn't really count.
That doesn't really count, right? So like he has all this HP, and he's doing so much damage that he's able to heal, because like when there are not enough people, like when they're down 1 or 2, like you're just not gonna kill a Reaper if he's like getting proper amounts of damage for each shot. So it's like, I think he's pretty viable. I think he's pretty similar in his Overwatch, like compared to Overwatch 1 playstyle. I think like maybe low S or high A. I think he goes above Zarya.
I can agree with it. I just think that he's kind of going to get gutted like Soldier is if Blizzard understands balance.
I think he may get gutted, but I also think his playstyle is a very easy IQ check, and he's already been gutted once. So...
okay, based.
Yeah.
Based. Baptiste, I think... almost Sigma level here. Maybe. I think it's kind of the same idea where you play him on Circuit Royal, and that's about all I've seen so far.
I mean, you either play him in Circuit Royal or you play him in a brawl.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think maybe his playstyle has changed to be a little bit more aggressive, but to be honest, you already should have been that aggressive with Baptiste, in my opinion, anyways.
Yeah, I don't think it's changed a whole lot.
Yeah, I think from a general player base standpoint, it kind of has, but at the highest level, I think he hasn't changed all too much.
He has a bit more versatility than Sigma because he can be played in more than just Circuit Royal, so I'd probably put him above. But I think
okay. I mean, at the same, they're different. They're different roles completely, so you can really just put them in the same area. But I would say putting it above is probably pretty true champ. Cassidy, honestly, is a hard one for me. You don't have stun anymore, so that's something. You can't really play it to just destroy a Doomfist because, I mean, I guess you could, but it wouldn't be as textbook as it was in Overwatch 1. I still think Cassidy's kind of decent in Overwatch 2, but I feel like Soldier was so strong in Overwatch 2 that you didn't get to see Cassidy shine. Is this kind of based or cringe?
Yeah, no, I think that's pretty based. I think people are pretty heavily underrating Cassidy just for like the amount of like burst pressure they can do, kind of similar to something like Ashe.
Yeah, I love getting sticky bombed and one-shot body shot like I'm playing fucking Halo. Like, that's just fantastic, man. I love Cassidy in Overwatch 2, but I honestly think he has potential to, like, actually sweep Overwatch 2 if Soldier gets gutted and he stays the way he is. I think he almost would be above Soldier in A tier.
Potentially. I think the biggest weakness that he has is that he actually tends to be more vulnerable than before because he doesn't have that also no CC, right? True. He doesn't have his main form of protection, which was flashbang, so you have to be a lot more accurate with your shots. But if you have the aim to back it up, he can still be about as lethal. It's just you have to keep that in mind.
I still want to put him above Soldier, and I almost might. I don't know. I think Soldier and Cassidy are like same level. Like I don't know, but I want to put him above just because I want to see the Cowboy over Soldier because Soldier in beta was really, really annoying and I don't want to deal with it. Yeah. But that doesn't really. I don't know. Okay, Ana. I want to put her A tier. I would love to put her S tier, but I'm trying to suppress my one trick.
I think you put her S tier.
Really? Okay. There's just so many other I don't know. Ana Brig is really strong right now, but I could also see Zen Brig in the future, but I don't know. Here's the thing. Fine. I'll put her S tier. You know what? You're going to allow me to be the one trick? I'll be the one trick. Ana does... I mean, I've been saying this since the Overwatch 2 5v5 codes. Ana does just the right amount of healing, and she does a good amount of damage as well. I feel like Overwatch 2 was kind of meant for 5v5 Ana, in my opinion. Because before, the thing is, why run Ana when you could have more healing on Moira, and also more healing on Bap with more damage on Bap? But now that it's harder to hit all your targets at the same time, and it's not just Brawl, lol, I think Ana does really, really well, especially since Winston's strong too. I think the stars kind of align. I don't know. Is there really anything else we have to say about this? I don't think her playstyle... I mean, her playstyle is just about getting more nades, but it's almost easier to do that now.
I would say it's getting more nades, but it's not necessarily winning the fight off of an initial nade. I think it's more that you're now looking to hold nade even almost a little more than before to make them like more impactful, if that makes sense. But no, I think that plus her sleep dart into characters like Genji and Tracer, who are also really strong right now, are like, she just becomes a top tier pick. Yeah, especially at the higher level.
All right, moving on to main. I wanted to put her D tier, but Do we give her grace and give her C tier because she might be decent or not?
I honestly think she's better than Torbjorn. I'll go out and say I think you can play her in the brawl. I think her freeze change actually in some ways makes her feel a little bit.
Yeah, I can kind of see where you. I see where you're getting there.
It's so much damage that it's almost kind of like a sim beam. Like it has its
True.
place where it's like you kind of can play that more like range to melee playstyle. But yeah, I don't think she's great. I think she's
pretty okay, but not the best character to play right now, especially since her playstyle is a little bit different than it was in Overwatch 1. Yeah. Not too much different, but just a little bit different because it's more damage focused now instead of freeze focused. But okay, moving on to Pharah. I think Echo is just better, so yeah. Pharah kind of loses. Bottom C tier, high D tier?
I think bottom C tier.
Okay.
I think she still has some viability on maps like maybe like Circuit Royale First Point, where you can kind of go over the like wall.
Yeah,
on the right side,
the Florida Mayhem wall, as I like to call it now.
Yeah. But other than that, I don't think you're really going to.
Yeah, I don't know. I think she's just too fat. I mean, that's not a good thing to say. She's too big, bulky compared to Echo. It doesn't have a lot of mobility. She kind of just gets poked.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're Yinza, or I probably said that wrong, you can make it work maybe. I don't know. Doomfist. Here's the thing. I think he's completely different than what he was in Overwatch 1, but I still think he might be worth learning. But like, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you think current Overwatch 1 Doomfist transfers to Overwatch 2 Doomfist?
Like a 3.
Alright, then I'm going to put this in D tier. When Overwatch 2 beta comes out, Doom is definitely going to be a character, if you're a tank player, that you want to learn. 100% in my opinion. I think he's going to have a meta, if not already. We've seen him with Don Tank Tay. We've already seen it in Overwatch League and Overwatch 2. I still think it's going to persist in being strong as more people learn him. I still think he's low-key sleeper. But if we were to say like power ranking right now, I'd probably put him somewhere in A tier.
I probably would have
said
S-tier. Top of B. But
yeah, I'd say somewhere around that area. Somewhere around that area if we're being legit, but I think D tier right now, kind of based. Because it's hard to kind of practice tank tay. So,
do you want my hot take for this?
Let's see the hot take.
I think that you cannot put D.Va anywhere above Pharah.
Yeah, I think. Really?
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, I guess. I mean, with the current way the game plays, like,
I think she has value. I think she is not bad in Overwatch 2. However, like, I think if you're looking for power ratings, I would say maybe like low A or high B tier. But
yeah,
in terms of trying to learn it in Overwatch 1, you could maybe make an argument of like high C tier, but her playstyle is totally different for the comps that she plays.
I can agree with that. I can 100% agree with that. I think it's definitely, yeah, because she's the only tank now. So it does kind of change the entire theory behind D.Va. But I still think she'd be good, but it is a lot different than what you currently do right now.
Yeah, no, I think the biggest thing to understand is that she, like, if you get demeched, you are essentially just dead, but with a longer timer.
True.
Because you're not getting ult back. I literally have not seen in all of my
the reduction on
of hours. Yeah, the ultimate charge. It takes way too long.
I forbore.
And then also, I think her playstyle has shifted from that dive tank to more of almost a peel, like only peel. So it's like you can't really go in without like significant advantages or like very key pressure points.
Because if you go in, then they go in, but
yeah,
you have to kill that backline by yourself. It feels like, or else
you can't risk.
Yeah, you have to trade it, which is just
you
not.
You can't risk getting demeched. Is really the big thing. Like you just can't. Because if you do, it's an instant like point loss almost. So yeah.
All right. Wrecking Ball D tier as well. Maybe low C tier with Pharah. I don't think he's super great.
I would. Well, here's the thing.
He's similar.
Think he still plays pretty similar. I think there hasn't been enough like that's like too different about him. I haven't seen a whole lot of Wrecking Ball. I maybe seen like 4 games out of the entire beta.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of crazy in hindsight. But like I think you could put him in C tier, but
I kind of want to put him next to Torb and Pharah.
Yeah.
Loki could be a sleeper pick, but I don't think he's like as consistent as we've seen some other characters.
Yeah.
All right, so Reinhardt. Reinhardt, guys. Okay, a lot different than what it is in Overwatch 1, and also, okay, from a basic mechanics in terms of swing hammer, hold shield, from a very like gold perspective, I think Reinhardt's pretty similar. I mean, like, you're not going to see high level differences, but even that, I think in Overwatch 2, I don't see Rein being that great of a tank compared to Zarya in like high level brawl, in my opinion. I would say high C tier is kind of like around where the May is. I still think he could be good, but right now I don't see him being better than these other tanks, and I don't know if it's necessary to really say much more about it.
I thought he's better than Sigma personally. Like, you see him play a lot more.
Yeah. Okay, if we're gonna put, you're right. If Sigma is B tier,
yeah.
If Sigma is B tier, then yes. I guess because we put Sigma B, I mean, because some of these other tanks, okay, you know what, that's pretty based in terms of where we're putting it. Still, my point still stands. I don't think he's super great, but I think he's kind of okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Monkey, just I think that's pretty unanimous. Literally, the only thing that's changed is now he's a sniper monkey with more shield health. Is that true?
Maybe a little bit more.
Maybe a little bit more. I don't know.
It's like 900.
I don't know. Sniper monkey goes S tier. I don't know. And until he gets nerfed, I think he's just gonna be really solid. I don't think he's busted either. I don't think he's. Is he busted?
I think it's the bubble.
Okay, I think it's just the theory of what Winston is. Okay, the bubble health being a lot, that's the big thing. I forgot. I should have said that.
Yeah.
It kind of just makes Ana unplayable when he puts the bubble down. But still, very good character. Even if he does get that shield nerfed, I still think conceptually in Overwatch 2, if you play Winston correctly, he still will be very good. So I would definitely learn Winston if you're a tank player. And if you think he's easy, I still think Winston is probably one of the hardest characters to play in the game, and it doesn't get any easier in Overwatch 2, in my opinion. So, Zenyatta, I kind of want to put it B tier.
I was thinking low A, like bottom of A, so
I think high B tier, low A tier. I just want, because I want to make sure that we have like a wide array of supports being in different areas. I might move them up at the end of the list. I think Zen Brig could be very strong down the line, and I think he still plays very similarly, as he's very aggressive and he kind of functions well in that Overwatch 2 environment. Excuse me, but I think Ana right now is just better for what is currently strong. But I think Ana and Zen, if you're a flex support player, definitely should look into those characters. Brig, that's the character I wanted to put in low A tier, because I mean, maybe she's S tier, high A tier.
That is some bold takes.
Why is she bad? Like, I think she's good.
I think she has a purpose, but I don't think it's nearly as
similar. Are we talking?
widespread.
Oh, are we talking similar here? Or are we talking that she's kind of a one trick on different maps?
I think she's more viable on different maps. Like, I think you could put her in A tier and make an argument for A tier for that, just like you could Zen. I think in terms of playstyle, though, you have to play a lot more passive. You aren't
okay. Yeah, I forgot the playstyle part. I forgot.
Yeah,
I still don't think it's gonna be that hard, but you know.
I think it'll take some adjustments. I think she's like, if you try and pick her up in Overwatch 1, you can transfer it pretty well, because like the same mechanics are gonna be the same. But I think the biggest thing to understand is that you can't be as aggressive. I would probably say bottom. I would probably say bottom of A then.
Here's the argument I'll make. I'll put Brig in the top B tier and Zen in the bottom A.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think that's you know, that's pretty base. Okay, Echo I think definitely belongs in A tier.
I think top of A.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I think below Reaper, but still pretty strong.
Yeah, I think
I've been seeing a lot of Echo in Overwatch League, and part of that I feel is just because it's like Yaki is Echo God. Yaki can make Echo work. But also, at the same time, I think Echo's just really strong as a character, fundamentally. Yeah. And she will stay that way. Tracer...
Straight ass.
As a concept, I think Tracer's really strong. The only thing I want to say is that for lower SR players, Tracer's definitely going to feel a little bit harder in Overwatch 2 because you're not doing as much damage, but also a little bit easier because you don't have a D.Va up in your face the whole time.
Yeah.
Conceptually, Tracer will always be a good character.
Yep.
And that is just kind of how it works. She's the cover character. I never think that she's like broken per se, but I just think conceptually as a design, she's super fast. She has recall. She can poke. She can do so much. And the best players, I mean, shout out to Rocket. I'm always gonna, whenever I see Tracer, just look at Rocket. He picked a good character to be the best at. Always is gonna have a spot on the team. But I digress. I don't think this needs that much more.
No.
To really say. She can hold lanes. She can be played in pretty much any comp. It's just Tracer, man. It's just that's Tracer.
Yep.
Ashe, I was thinking B. High B. Kind of where the Brig is right now. But do we think Ashe is better than that? Or worse?
I don't think you put her any lower. But also, I get not wanting to have like the tier list inflated, so I think or like inflating A tier, because we do have a lot of people in A tier right now.
I think... I mean, here's the thing. High B tier is low-key kind of like A tier right now, but...
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? No. All these hit scans... No, I gotta put it A tier. I still think she's gonna be really solid, especially in like Circuit Royal. I could definitely see her being really, really good. And as more maps...
Her above Cass.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. Dynamite and all that stuff. Like spam and stuff. I could see that. I don't know. I think she's just really strong. I don't... Her overall playstyle hasn't changed that much. You're still gonna be a dynamiting and like shooting gun. Haha, funny. I don't know. I don't think there's too much more we have to really say about that. Mercy C tier, maybe even D tier.
Yeah, I think in terms of like learning her, I think it's still gonna be somewhat similar. I do
actually
think...
even easier. Super jump is just like in the game.
I wouldn't say that. Well, yeah.
Okay, from a basic mechanic standpoint, but
yeah, I would say I think that's reasonable, because like I think Mercy has a little bit like I don't know, the physics feel a little off when it comes to Mercy flying, so it doesn't feel exactly the same, but the core principles are still there.
Sombra is a can of worms. I don't think she plays that. I think she plays like more Sombra 76 than ever before now. But I still think she's strong. Like, I still think she's good. I don't think she's S tier. Maybe I'm wrong. I think she's like mid A tier. Maybe
I would say B.
High B or mid B?
I would say. I mean, you have to consider like one. She doesn't play anywhere like her. Like she doesn't play.
Yeah, nowhere near.
Yeah, she plays a lot more aggressive in some ways. I think mid B is okay. I think she's still good.
I think she's solid on some maps. Like on push, I think she's really strong.
I just think there's a lot of issues where like she doesn't have that same like pressure that like Echo or Tracer can do as quickly. She needs like time to set up, and she farms. She farms EMP really quickly. Don't get me wrong, but I just think
EMP also isn't as strong as. Because, okay, wait.
Yeah.
When you EMP, it only applies the 40% damage boost to Sombra, right?
Well, it does. Well, it also
does that damage, though.
That's damage.
That's right. So that actually is pretty strong, but... Yeah. I don't know. It's weird. I still think she's good. I think she's still something that's worth playing and maybe learning, but understand that it's not as hack body as it was in Overwatch 1. I mean, that's not even true, because Sombra was a... We're gonna just put her where she is, because we could probably make a whole dissertation on fucking Sombra, because she's a very good character in different ways. Genji, I want to put A tier.
Yeah, that's fair. I was thinking bottom of S.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in Overwatch League recently. Have I?
I think, well, yes, he is still getting played. I think the main reason why is because, like, he's too much of a full commit style, where, like, if you don't get that kill with dash when you go in, like, you just kind of die. But I still think he transfers really well from Overwatch 1. I think he's still that amazing, like, check if they're running snipers on, like, the sides. Think, yeah.
Like, Havana, I think if Havana will... I'm pretty sure Havana is getting into Overwatch 2. I think he's going to be very strong in that map.
Potentially, yeah.
I mean, he was in Overwatch 1. And now that Brig doesn't have stun, you kind of have to allocate more resources to him.
Yeah.
It was a weird IQ check. I still think that Genji's going to be strong, especially in lower ranks. He's definitely going to be a lot more potent than maybe like a Reaper if you don't have Lucio. Yada, 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 something. Symmetra.
I think straight to D tier.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with that. Hanzo, got to be at least A tier, right? Maybe not B tier.
I would say B.
I'm thinking A to B tier is what I was saying, not like the literal mid.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
I think that's reasonable right there.
That's it. Yeah. I like
Widowmaker, maybe that one's same as.
I would say higher.
Maybe low A tier.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
I think she's really good on Circuit Royal, but like on other maps, I don't think. But the thing is, Havana and stuff, we just haven't seen those maps yet. Like I think there are other maps where Widow will be good, so definitely A tier is like based. On most maps, I still think Tracer and Genji and Echo and Reaper are just gonna be better, like from a fundamental design until we see numbers change.
Maybe
or a support gets added.
Maybe put Widow over by Sombra, like high B.
I could see that. I could see that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was thinking, like in terms of a map perspective right now and what we're seeing. I think that push, you're not really going to be seeing Widow. You could see Widow on some other maps, but like Havana and Circuit Royal, like those are the maps that I'm thinking like, wow, Widow's going to shine compared to some of these other DPS that I think are just more consistent. Okay, Bastion, hot take in Brawl, kind of okay.
In a Brawl? You're on something. I don't know.
In a low-level Brawl. In a you can literally just speed boost in with your Ryan with tank mode Bastion and go and then go doosh.
So where are you suggesting he goes?
Like bottom B tier.
Okay. Yeah. I think I was gonna argue high C. I like Bastion. I'm biased. I think he's
I love Bastion. But he low key, I'm gonna put him high C tier because he does not function at all what he was in Overwatch 1.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put Bastion in here so people can be like, he put Bastion C tier? I gotta learn Bastion? But anyways.
Yeah.
Moira I feel like functions similarly.
Very similarly.
Almost carbon copy, almost. I wanna put her A tier with Zen? Yeah. Maybe above Zen?
I would probably say higher.
Here?
Yeah.
I was thinking either there or there, one of the two.
I think, especially if you're not very comfortable on Ana, she's a very good alternative. Probably not as good at the highest level, but yeah.
And last but not, I mean, is that pretty? I think that's. Yeah. Lucio. Low S, high A.
I would say low S.
I think above the Genji.
You think? Yeah, that's fair.
I think Lucio's more of a staple macro wise, maybe not micro. Like in terms of like team play, I think Lucio's more of a staple. While in like ladder, you can get away with Genji a lot more.
No, I totally agree.
But they kind of both work similarly. Okay, so just to clear this out. For anyone that might have just skipped to the end of the video, this is not about power levels only. This is about how these characters are in Overwatch 1 and how those skills will transfer if you learn the character or you have learned that character in Overwatch 1 trying to move into Overwatch 2. So make sure if you see like Doomfist E tier, make sure you go back to that part of the video. You try to find when we were talking about Doomfist. It'll help you out a lot in actually understanding why each of these picks are where they are. Again, this was Poketude. I'm going to put all of your links down in the description. Is there anything else that you want to plug that's more specific than before? Other than your player base, your aim labs, all the stuff, all that.
I do private coaching. You can follow me on Twitter. Yeah, I don't know. That's about it.
Please do go check out Poke out. He's a fantastic coach, and I'd be surprised if we don't see him in Overwatch League in the next like 1 or 2 years, to be completely honest with you guys. But yeah, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and if you want to talk about this, just let me know down in the comments below. or join the Discord, because, I mean, I practically live there, and I'll probably respond to you right away as long as it's not like 4 a.m. and I'm sleeping. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Peace out. Paz out. I'll see you in the next one.